You have to watch episode 5 first, then watch my review because there will be major spoilers. Let's begin. At the start, we saw Lydia van Bredevoort. She's a sorceress. In the books, she was Vilgefort's personal secretary. She went to free Reins from jail. Reins was a mage who was instructed by Lydia to find Ciri. He was a powerful mage, but not as powerful as his master, Vilgefort. Yes, in the books, Reins was working for Vilgefort. We get a flashback of Jaski singing the Butcher song in the tavern where Yennefer and Cahir went to get to the Sandpiper. But now we see that Reins was presented in the tavern listening to the Butcher song. At the end of the last episode, Jaskier was attacked after escorting the elves to the boat. Yennefer didn't go to Sintra. Instead, she searched for Jaskier. Jaskier was attacked by Reins. He wanted to get information about Geralt. Switching to Geralt, as we saw in the last episode, Triss teleported him to Istrid. Geralt wanted to investigate the monolith that fell near Sintra because of Ciri. Istrid did not believe that there are mutated species that are coming from the dome near the monolith. However, Geralt showed him the head of the mutated monster that he slashed into half. Now he believed him. Istrid took Geralt to see the shattered monolith. Switching to Kaer Morhen, Ciri was training. As we may know from the last episode, we saw Fainwood growing from Ciri's blood. So, Vesemir wants to create more witches using her blood, but with her decision. Switching to Oxenford, Reins was interrogating Jaskier to tell him where are the Witcher and his child surprise. He knew that his child surprise is Calanthe's granddaughter from his songs, The Lion Cup of Sintra. Yennefer went to the tavern and saw the interrogation. She spat out the alcohol she was drinking on Reins' fire, leaving a mark on the left side of his face. In the books, Yennefer did not lose her magic due to excessive chaos according to the series. Instead, she used her fire magic against Reins to save Jaskier before he closed the portal to escape from her. This has left the mark on the left side of his face. Back to the topic, when she spat the alcohol, she freed Jaskier and they ran away. Back to Vesemir, he took Ciri and told her the story of the Witchers and how were they created. He showed her Fainwood, told her that he needs her blood to save many generations to come. She agreed to do it, but with one condition, that he test the vial on her first. Of course he refused. He doesn't want Geralt's child surprise to die, and because he cares about her. As we all know, 3 out of 10 witches survived the trial of the grasses. She convinced him to do it though. Triss began doing the mutagens. They took a vial of Ciri's blood not done with the compound, and it worked. A compound that could create a witcher. Back to Oxenford, after running away, a bunch of thugs went to attack them. They escaped them. Yennefer and Jaskier split up on their way. A woman that once tried to help Yennefer suggested an escape route, which is her house. It was a trap. She knows that Yennefer is wanted for justice, so she brought guards to capture her. Back to Ciri, she wanted to become a witcher. Triss didn't know that she wanted to try the mutagens first until Vesemir told her. So, Triss went to check on Ciri. She told her that there is another way to find her true identity and where her powers come from. Ciri wanted to become a witcher to find her new truth and strength. Triss introduced the Dul Durja, they called it. The Dul Durja allowed Triss to enter the deepest layer of Ciri's consciousness and uncover her true powers. In the Dul Durja, we saw her memories. Later, we saw Duny's face and his wife Pavetta. They were stating the story of the boat that killed Pavetta and Duny. In the books, Vilgefort and Duny had been conspiring to bring both Pavetta and Ciri to Nilfgaard. Pavetta knew Duny's plans, so she didn't bring Ciri on board. Instead, she left her with her grandmother, Calanthe, at Sintra. They argued until Pavetta fell overboard and drowned. Years later, they were believed to be killed by a ship sink. Vilgefort saved Duny and they reached Nilfgaard. Duny changed his name to Emir var Emiris. Back to the topic, There was something irregular in Ciri's Dul Durja, I might say. Pavetta can see Ciri through her memories. Back to Geralt, he investigated the monolith and the ravine with Istrid. They were chatting until Geralt knew that Istrid is in love with Yennefer. Also, he knew that she is alive because he thought that she died after the Battle of Sodden. Back to Ciri. They were wandering in the Dul Durja. They found an elf, probably a sorceress. I think it's Lara Dorren. Ciri was a descendant of Lara Dorren. She was an elven mage who carries Ain Ikir, or the Elder Blood. Triss got close to her to heal her wounds. She held her from his neck and stated Ithilne's prophecy. The prophecy where the world will die in the White Forest. The Wild Hunt appears in the sky. Suddenly, Ciri realized what is happening and started calling for Geralt in the Dul Durja. When she shouted Geralt, she shook the whole world. Monsters were born in the monolith where Geralt and Istrid are there. It began to rain. Even the voice of Ciri was appearing in the monolith. Storms are coming. Then she awoke with Triss. The Dul Durja is over. Triss was scared of Ciri that something is ending, and it's because of Ciri. The elf in the Dul Durja mentioned a seed that bursts into flame. Triss thinks it's Ciri. Switching to Geralt, he told Istrid to open a portal to Kaer to see what's going on. After the Dul Durja, Ciri immediately went to Vesemir and requested the mutagens to be done on her at the moment. Vesemir was going to insert the compound on Ciri's body, however, Geralt appeared at the right time and stopped him. He convinced her not to do it, she would be killed. Switching to Cahir, he reached Cintra. No one remembers him but Fringilla. She welcomed him to the castle to reclaim his position. Back to Yennefer, the guards were about to take her to justice, but the women we saw in the hut were the three sorcerers were seeing. What I mean by that is Netflix's Gunter Odem. Yennefer heard her voice. She needs to say the right words to be free from the guards and teleport to the hut again. Jaskier was eavesdropping from the window where Yennefer is there. She said the words, "Behold the mother of forest, the deathless mother nesting in dreams. Turn your back to the forest, hut, hut." And she disappeared. The guards outside found that Jaskier was eavesdropping. They took him to jail. The women in the hut teleported Yennefer to her. She told her to steal her and bring her to the monolith that she destroyed. She said that she will get her power back and much more if she does that. The episode has ended. In the end, I thought that she will bring her to Torzirael, just like in the books, but we'll see in the next review. Also, if you have any references from the book, please write them down in the comment section. And if I missed important things, also write it down. Let's go back to the topic. I didn't think that Vesemir would do such a thing, which is inserting the vial into Ciri's body. Thank God Geralt stopped him. Speaking of the story, to be honest, it's a great development. The mysterious woman in the hut is not mentioned in the books, but her story is interesting. Finally, I'd rate this episode 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching.